Find yourself playing hide and seek with your keys a little too often? Or maybe you walk into a room and the reason you went in there just vanishes? It's really easy to just chalk that up to age or a crazy week at work. But what if I told you the secret to a sharper memory isn't just about brain games, but what's actually on your plate? A growing body of scientific evidence suggests that some of the most common foods we eat are linked to a decline in our brain's memory functions. In this video, we're going to expose the top foods associated with memory harm and show you what to eat instead, starting right now. It's no secret that what you eat affects your body, but it also has a huge impact on your brain. The food choices we make every day can influence how clearly we think, how well we remember, and even our mood. The problem is, many of the convenient, tasty foods that are all around us may be quietly working against our brain health in the long run. Today, we're not just creating a do not eat list. We're going to look at the science, explain how these foods are linked to brain issues, and give you simple, powerful swaps to protect your mind for years to come. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being empowered. When you understand the connection between your diet and your memory, you can take real control of your cognitive health. First up, and it's a big one, are sugary drinks. This isn't just soda. We're talking sweetened fruit juices, sports drinks, and most energy drinks. They are loaded with added sugars, often in the form of high fructose corn syrup. And while they give you that quick burst of energy, the potential long-term cost to your brain is pretty steep. Here's what researchers think is happening. Consuming these drinks causes a major spike in your blood sugar. Over time, this can contribute to inflammation and insulin resistance, which are known to be connected to cognitive decline and an increased risk for dementia. Some studies from the respected Framingham Heart Study have linked higher intake of sugary beverages to markers of accelerated brain aging, like poorer memory and smaller overall brain volume, including a smaller hippocampus. Think of the hippocampus as your brain's librarian, filing away all your new memories. When its size or function is compromised, your ability to learn and recall information can suffer. So, what's the fix? The best swap is simple: water. If plain water feels boring, jazz it up with some cucumber, lemon, or berries. Unsweetened green tea is another fantastic, brain-friendly choice that's packed with antioxidants. Next on the list, refined carbohydrates. These are basically the white foods in your diet: white bread, white rice, pasta, and most pastries, cookies, and breakfast cereals. During processing, these foods are stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients. The trouble with refined carbs is their high glycemic index. This means your body breaks them down super fast, causing that same rapid blood sugar spike you get from sugary drinks. You know that foggy, tired feeling you get after a big carb-heavy meal? That's the crash. It's not just a temporary slump. Diets high in refined carbs and sugars have been associated with worse cognitive outcomes and impaired function in the hippocampus. The inflammation they can promote is also linked to a higher risk for mood disorders like anxiety and depression, which can have their own negative effects on memory. The good news is the swap is easy and effective. Go for whole grains. Choose 100% whole wheat bread and pasta, brown or wild rice, and oatmeal. These foods are full of fiber, which slows everything down and gives your brain the steady, stable energy it needs to stay sharp. In today's world, ultra-processed foods are everywhere. Think packaged chips, frozen dinners, deli meats, hot dogs, and a lot of fast food. They're defined by their industrial ingredients, things like added sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial colors and flavors you wouldn't find in a home kitchen. These foods can be a double-edged sword for your brain. First, they are often high in all the things we know are bad for cognitive health: sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. Second, they are literally engineered to be hyperpalatable, which means they race so ridiculously tasty they can override your body's natural I am full signals, making you want to eat more. Recent research has drawn some strong connections here. One major study in Brazil found that adults who got more than 20% of their daily calories from ultra-processed foods had a 28% faster rate of global cognitive decline, compared to those who ate the least. And a long-term study reported that people eating about 2 servings of processed red meat per week had a 14% higher risk of dementia than those eating very little. Researchers believe this might be due to body-wide inflammation that can disrupt the blood-brain barrier, which is supposed to protect your brain from harmful substances. The alternative is to get back to basics. Prioritize whole, single-ingredient foods and try cooking more at home where you control what goes in. Swap out packaged snacks for a handful of nuts or a piece of fresh fruit. Instead of deli meat, try grilling some chicken or fish. It's all about shifting your diet's balance from the factory back to the kitchen. It's amazing how much of an impact our food can have. I am really curious to hear from you. Have you ever noticed that brain fog or forgetfulness after eating certain foods? Drop your experience in the comments below. It's a fascinating conversation, and you never know who you might help by sharing your story. The fourth category to watch out for is artificial trans fats. While the FDA has taken steps to phase out these fats, also known as partially hydrogenated oils, they can still pop up in some processed foods. You might find them in certain margarines, store-bought frosting, fried fast foods, and many packaged baked goods like cookies and cakes. Trans fats are particularly tough on brain health. They promote inflammation and are linked to vascular issues, which can affect the blood vessels that deliver crucial oxygen and nutrients to your brain. Diets high in trans fats have been associated with poorer memory and cognitive performance in some observational studies. A key thing to know is that labeling rules can be tricky. Products with less than half a gram of trans fat per serving can be labeled as having 0 trans fat. So those small amounts can add up if you eat several servings. The solution here has 2 parts. First, become a label detective. If you see partially hydrogenated oil anywhere in the ingredients, put that item back on the shelf. Second, try to cut back on commercially fried and baked goods. Baking or air frying at home is a great alternative. For your go-to fats, choose brain-healthy options like olive oil and avocado oil. For years, people have reached for artificial sweeteners in diet sodas and sugar-free snacks, thinking they were making the healthier choice. However, some emerging research suggests these substitutes might not be so neutral for your brain. Here's what some recent studies have found, and it's important to remember these show an association, not direct cause and effect. One 2017 study from the Framingham Heart Study found that people who drank at least 1 diet soda per day were nearly 3 times as likely to develop stroke and dementia compared to those who didn't. More recently, a 2025 study in the journal Neurology followed nearly 13,000 adults and found that those who consumed the highest amount of sweeteners like aspartame and saccharin showed a 62% faster decline in their thinking and memory skills, which the researchers noted was equivalent to about 1.6 years of additional brain aging. Scientists are still figuring out the why, but theories suggest these sweeteners might disrupt the gut microbiome, which has a direct communication line to the brain, or potentially increase inflammation. The researchers from both of these major studies urged caution and emphasized that more work is needed. As one of the Framingham researchers put it, maybe good old-fashioned water is something we need to get used to. So, let's recap the 5 culprits we talked about: sugary drinks, refined carbs, ultra-processed foods, trans fats, and artificial sweeteners. The main takeaway here is that your brain isn't just passively getting older. It's a living organ that is deeply affected by what you feed it every single day. The link between these foods and cognitive issues isn't just a random idea, it is backed by growing scientific evidence suggesting they can contribute to inflammation and vascular issues that affect the brain. But this knowledge isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. Nobody expects you to be perfect overnight. It's all about awareness and making small, conscious choices that build up over time. Swapping a soda for an infused water, choosing whole grain bread over white, or grabbing almonds instead of chips, these simple decisions are huge wins. By nourishing your brain with whole, nutrient-rich foods, you're making a powerful investment in a sharper mind and a healthier memory for the future. If you found this video helpful and you're ready to learn more about optimizing your health, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. And for your next step, check out our video on the top 5 best foods for your brain, where we dive into all the delicious things you should be eating for peak mental performance. Thanks for watching, and here's to a healthier brain.